So everyone, today again we are working on solving the square root equations, right? How will you solve and what does it look like? Any equation that has a square root in it, like this one, as an example, if you have x minus h equals k, there can be an a also multiplied over here. This is a quadratic equation equals k. That's what I did. It's slightly different from the function that we had. Now, which one of this whole equation, which term is the square root term? Can you tell me? Which term do you see as square root term? Hmm? This one? Agree? X minus h here is the square root term. You can also use the word for this radical sign. This square root sign is a radical sign. So the square root term is the one that we want to isolate. I'm sharing with you the simple steps. How many steps? 3 steps to solve, and then the 4th step to cross check if your solution is right or not. So whenever you have a square root equation, think about the term which is the radical one and isolate it. Isolate the term containing the radical sign. That's what you will do as the first thing. So fill in the blank with the term. Then after that, what will you do? You need to isolate it. Isolation can be done using these operations. You will have to add something or subtract something. If, like in the question number 2, I will bring it up over here. You see, at the bottom right corner, the question number 2 is showing you here that the number is subtracted. There is one number subtracted over here. So you will do the reverse operation. Compared to the subtraction, what will you do? You will add something to it. Not the subtraction. Subtraction needs to be changed to an addition. Finally, we will isolate, like in the question number 2, we can definitely add something, add a 1 to isolate it. Then, addition, subtraction, or division, use these operations to solve the things, separate, isolate the square root term. Then, second step, once you have isolated it, like if we will look at the question number 1, let's see. Is there anything multiplied, subtracted, added to the radical term? What do you think? Is there anything multiplied, added, subtracted to the radical term in question number 1? The purple term over there? Yes or no? Nothing's added or subtracted or multiplied with the square root term, right? There is no 1, 2, 3 added in beginning or after the radical term. So that is already isolated. If your radical term is isolated, then what will you do? Once it's isolated already, you will take a square on both sides. Square both sides of the equation and simplify. These are the steps. Once it's done, square root will be gone. There will be no radical sign in your equation. And then you will simply need to solve for the variable. Whatever is the variable, x or y, depending upon your question, whatever is the variable there, solve the equation, find out the value for the variable, and I will give you two different methods, the algebraic one and then a trick, cheat code, how to solve it without using algebraically, but you need to use that as a cross check, okay? Cross check. The 4th step is to cross check. You can use the cross check with that cheat code. You don't need to use Mathway or anything like any cheat tool. Don't do that, please. You can simply use the relevant and right tools to check your steps and to find out the answers. Both things can be done. Here, I will solve first the question number 1, then the question number 2 using the same steps. You see, in the first step, the term is already isolated, so I don't need to do The step one is already done, right? The step one is already done. So what's the second step? The steps that I told you, what is the second step? That was the first step. Second step. Square both sides. So what we will do over here, we will square both sides over here. And how to do that? Simply write down the expression x minus 1 equals 5. Both sides of the equation are there. Then take a square on both sides. Then what will happen? The square on the square root will cancel off each other. We will be left with a term or the expression which was inside the square root, and the square root is gone. There is no more radical sign. No more radical sign. Now what? Simplify and solve it for the variable. What's the variable here? Variable is x. I want to separate. I don't need anything with it. So what should I do to get rid of this negative 1? How can I get rid of this 1? Everything. Add a 1 on both sides, exactly, plus 1. And by doing that, I got x equals 26. That's my answer. I got the answer like that. Easy thing. Now, we're done with the third step also. Here, when we simplified it, we have done the third step also. And third step gave me the response answer for my question solution, which is x equals 26. Now, we can definitely cross-check it also. How will I cross-check it? I can simply take the real question, the original one for the step 4. I'm doing now the cross-check. For the cross-check, I took the original question. Wherever I saw an x instead of an x, I will put over there the answer that I just got, which was the 26. And then I will solve it, and you will see at the end that I will end up saying, yes, the right-hand side and the left-hand side are same. Square root of 25, it turns out to be the 5, and these two are definitely same. So I got the right answer. The steps were right. Make sense? Easy thing? How is it different from question number 2? The check is true. What is a check? Once you will put the value of x, your left-hand side will be equal to the right-hand side of the equation. Simplifying it will also give you a 5. 26 minus 1 was a 25. And then you took the square root of 25, that's a 5. Easy? Now, should I give you the cheat code? How can you do it? Using decimals? Look at this. I will now show you how to solve any such square root question using decimals. Using decimals. Let's go to the decimals. Where is it? It's over here. Trying to bring it up. We go. Yeah. So in decimals, how will I put the equation? Let's remove the earlier stuff over there. And I have the equation over here. Square root of x minus 1. So let's bring in square root of x minus 1. What was this equal to? A 5. Right? Equals a 5. Did you see anything over there on the board? Any graph? No? Let's zoom out. You see something now? This one? Over here? What is it telling you? A line, a straight line that's clearly visible. Where is it intersecting the x-axis? This line is at 26. That's my solution, right? That line is my solution for the value of x. So x equals 26 will be my response. Another way of doing the same thing, let's consider that square root of x minus 1 here is your plot. Now I will check it again. Just the left hand side. I plotted the left hand side. You see over here? The left hand side is plotted. And where is it showing me the whole plot? It looks like this. Now bring in the other one also. What is the right hand side? Y equals 5. Where is the point of intersection of these 2 points? 26. X is the answer. So if you will plot the left hand side, if you will plot the right hand side, again, look at the board. I'm giving an easy way of solving this. So x equals 26, y equals 5 is an easy way of looking at the solution. Now I'll give you one more thing. This x equals 26 is the answer. Let's try to do the same thing over here for the second question. You see this? 2x plus 1 minus 1, and then that is equal to a 2. Square root of 2x plus 1 minus 1 equals to 2. So the same process that I told you, square root of 2x plus 1, that's what I'm trying to bring in here now. Square root of 2x plus 1, I put the right hand side over there. What's the left hand side? The left hand side is 2. Where are these two intersecting each other? These are intersecting each other at this point. So what's the value of x? The value of x is 1.5. That's going to be my answer. I plotted the right hand side. I plotted the left hand side. Solving, without solving even, I got the result. Now let's solve it actually. I will take you back. To the solution. How can I now solve it algebraically? We need to isolate the yellow term. What should I do to isolate it? What's extra over here? What do you think? Brian? What extra term do you see with the yellow term that I need to get rid of? 1? Okay, and what should I do to that 1? Because it's subtracted over there, you will always do the opposite operation. You will add a 1 there, right? So adding a 1 will give me what on the right hand side? From the left hand side, definitely it's gone. And I'm left with 2x plus 1 equals a 3. We did the step number 1. We did isolate the expression. We did isolate the radical expression. It's now left alone. Whenever your radical expression is left alone, the next thing is that you will square on both sides. So my step number 2 is going to be taking a square on both sides, right? That will let the square root and the square cancel out with each other, and I will be left with 2x plus 1 equals a 9. Now, we need to solve it for x. What should I do? First step, to separate the x. Yeah. What should I do to separate the x? Subtract what? Subtract. Can someone help us here? Micah, what do you think? What should I do to separate the x from anything? I want to solve it for x. What's the first step?
You don't solve it, move it.
So, Charlie, what should I do? Subtract the 1 first. That's the first step. First of all, we will have to get rid of addition and subtraction. You see the steps over here? What was the first thing to do? Add or subtract. Then you will do the division. So here also, I will first subtract the negative 1 on both sides. Done. Then after that, the 2x equals a 9. Now, what should I do? Did I forget something? Don't let me forget something. I didn't forget anything, right?
Subtract is 8.
Yeah, thank you. Don't let me do any mistake. Keep it right. So we did 8. What's the next step now? What will be the x? Dividing on both sides with a 2. What will I get? 4. That's my answer. Did we get the same thing in Desmos also? We should get the same thing in Desmos also if we have written everything right over here. So let's see if I did write down exactly the same thing in Desmos. No, I did miss one over thing, which was a -1. So as soon as I will bring in that -1 over there, you see over here, the function 4 and comma 2 is giving me the cross check as well. Charlie? You got it? Sure? Really? If I will do everything right, if I will put the left hand side, right hand side, exactly the way it is mentioned, then it doesn't matter even if you will solve it algebraically, or if you will solve this, use Desmos to solve it, you will get the same response. So cross check. We did the step number 3, which gave us the answer. Cross check also, you can put your value of x in the given equation, and you will see it's going to give you the same right thing, which is on the right hand side. Now be ready. You will be solving rest of the questions using the same steps. I'm just now solving the left hand side, which gave me square root of a 9, and that is equal to 3. When it's equal to 3, that means if we started solving the left hand side using the value of x that we just got, which was a 4, so I replaced the x with a 4 there, which finally turned out to be exactly equal to the right hand side, which was a 3 here. And the main thing, starting with the 2, I'm again forgetting to put the -1 over there. I don't know why am I forgetting the things today. -1 here, -1 here, 3 -1 over here. So that means we will get 3 - 1, which is a 2, and that is equal to the 2, which is the right hand side. It was not clearly visible to me, but now it's clear. So 2 equals to the right hand side. So whenever you will substitute the solution in your left hand side of the equation, your final result will be equal to the right hand side. Steps clear? Everything understood?